Welcome and thanks for joining us for today's event, Creative Mask Making for All Ages. My name is Tracy Ricciardi-Toe and I am the Assistant Director of School-Based Alumni Relations. Today's webinar is sponsored by the Boston University Alumni Association and the College of Fine Arts. Today's presentation is being recorded and will soon be available for on-demand viewing on the Alumni Association webpage, and a handout with instructions for each mask will also be available. I am now thrilled to introduce Dr. Felice Amato. She is an assistant professor in the Department of Art Education in the School of Visual Arts. Her areas of focus are puppets and masks, and she is currently hosting a year-long conference about women in masks. Felice teaches classes that help prepare students to be art teachers in schools. Every year, she's inspired by her students' creativity and commitment to creating rich experiences for children and adolescents. Take it away, Felice.
Thank you, Tracy. Hello and welcome to Creative Mask Making for All Ages. As Tracy said, my name is Felice and I teach in the Department of Art Education at Boston University. That's where people study to become an art teacher. Do you have an art teacher at your school? Well, tonight, some of my students who are going to be art teachers are going to show you 4 different ways that you can make fun masks with things around your house using your creativity. Halloween was last week, but people use masks all over the world all year long for different celebrations and just to have fun. My students are going to share their ideas pretty quickly tonight, so we encourage you to just watch the first time. Then when you have time and your supplies and your adults can help you, you can watch the video again to remember the steps and take your time with them. Also, each group has created a handout for you that you'll receive later. So we're going to start tonight with 3 people who will teach you how to make robot masks: Tess, Rye, and Devin. Tess is originally from Bethesda, Maryland. She studies mechanical engineering at BU, and she's also studying art. Isn't that a cool combination? Mechanical engineering and art. Tess worked a lot teaching kids, especially at summer camps, and so she's really looking forward to teaching tonight and bringing science and art together in this mask activity. Rye has a BFA in drawing and painting from Laguna College of Art and Design. She also likes writing and she likes curating, which means selecting interesting art to put together to create a show. She likes to work with imagery and sculptural forms from her own imagination. Devin is from Long Island, New York. Her first job was working as a camp counselor for 6 years. She loved it so much that it inspired her to one day become an art teacher. A fun fact about her is that she has a cat named Zuko who has a habit of getting himself stuck in high up places. We'll start with Tess.
Thank you so much, Felice, and hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to be talking you through the beginning of our robot mask tutorial. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find a lightweight cardboard, some sort of box, a tissue box or a cereal box that you can use for the base of your mask. You're going to want it to fit pretty closely around your head. So adults, you can help with this. There's a great way to reference your kid's head. You can actually use your own, and it should be a pretty good guide. It also doesn't matter if it's a little smaller or a little bigger. It's all about the decoration. So I used a Cheez-Its box for mine, something I just had on hand, and it's really lightweight, easy to cut, great for this mask. The first thing you're going to want to do to create the base is to cut out some eye holes so that you can see. So I did these 2 right here, 2 different shapes, because I thought it would be fun and weird like robots are. While you're looking for that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about robots. So what exactly is a robot? It's really a machine that can do what a human can do. So any sort of device that does a task without a person making it do that task. Maybe where have you seen robots around, or in a more practical sense? If you have one of those vacuums that vacuums the floor by itself like a Roomba, that's a robot. The one on the left is one that's in a grocery store that helps pick up the floors and clean around the store. The one on the right is more scientific robot. It can put on a bottle cap and do other sorts of things. These might look a bit weird to you, but here's something you might have seen before. This one on the left is R2-D2 from Star Wars, or on the right, you have the two robots from WALL-E, which is one of my favorite movies. So these kind of robots from movies or TV shows are ones that you've probably seen before, and that's what's going to inspire the kind of robots we're going to make today. So next up, Rai is going to talk you through the next steps of kind of creating your mask and imagining more about what kind of robot you want to make. Over to you, Rai.
Thanks, Tess. Hi guys, so just like Tess had, I've got a mask blank as well. I've got a granola box and I've removed the back so you have a place to put your face. And I've got some eye holes so you can see. So what we're going to do is imagine what a robot could look like. It's great that Tess had a couple examples of imagined robots. And as we start to build our robot mask, we're going to imagine what those things are for and how we want our robots to look. So we've got our blank like this, and what we're going to use is any kinds of pieces of paper, tape, stickers are fantastic to start building texture onto our mask shape. And we're going to be covering this up with tinfoil later, so we don't have to worry about color, anything like that yet. But you can, as you can see, I've got some different pieces of thick tape on here. I've got these pieces, this was just leftover pieces from the same box that I had cut out. And used it to build these shapes on the surface. And the word texture just means shape that's on the surface. So you can squish up some tape. You see, I've got a big lump here from some squish tape. Big stickers are fantastic because they're a mess-free way to attach some other pieces. Like here, these are not glued down or anything. You don't really need to be. They're going to be covered up by the foil in a moment anyways. Also, the edges of stickers are kind of wobbly and make really great texture as well. You can cut up stickers or you can just slap them on top of each other. Anything that you think would be a great shape, you can just glue or tape right onto the front of your box. And in the next step, I'm going to show you how to apply your foil. So I've just got aluminum foil, regular stuff. We're going to get big enough for your whole front end mask. Easy to trim away any extra, of course. So you're just going to want to use either a liquid glue or what works best actually is a great glue stick, much less messy. If you do only have liquid glue, just use a paintbrush to get a nice thin layer of glue on the back of your tin foil. You barely need any. Just make sure to cover the whole surface. But you can just use your glue stick and just cover the back of your tin foil with it. And I'm just going to set that mask right on top and hold your foil right around the edges. And as you are smoothing your tin foil into place, you're going to start to see your shapes that you built under the surface come right through. Makes this amazing design. And you're going to want to, of course, eye holes all cleared out. Parents, as you are helping your child smooth the foil into place, just make sure that the foil on the inside of the eye holes is nice and smooth, that there's nothing that's going to poke them when they go to put it on later. So you're just going to use your fingers, or you can even use like a balled up sock to press into the design that you built on your surface. It's going to start to reveal, and it's going to be this amazing design on the surface. So I've got one that's all smoothed over, and as you can see, all of the texture that was built up by the tape and the stickers and everything comes straight through. And there's all kinds of great texture in the surface. And next you're going to be adding some color and design onto the surface of the mask, which Devin will show you how to do. Take it away, Devin.
Hey guys, thank you, Rai. Okay, I'm going to show you how to decorate your masks today. This is my mask right here, and as you see, it's missing an antenna, so you guys are going to help me finish my mask with me. Okay, so while I was looking around my house today for cool things to make my mask with, I found this super cool straw with dots all over it, which I thought would be perfect for an antenna. And then I also found this glittery pipe cleaner, And I took a small piece of tin foil about this size, scrunched it up really, really hard to create a ball like this. And then we're gonna put it on top of the antenna. But to start, and if you do this, I need you to grab your straw and then grab the end of your pipe cleaner, squeeze it with your thumb and your pointer finger and twist it all the way around until it gets all the way to the top like that, as you can see. And with your ball, to make sure it sticks on the top of your antenna, you're gonna grab a pencil and just gently poke a hole through it. And the hole should create perfectly sized and go like that. And now we have a finished antenna and my mask is done. But now I'm going to show you guys how to decorate the surface of your mask. So as you can see, I have some glitter right here on the cheeks of my robot, and I have some paint along the outside, but I think it needs some more paint. So let's add to it. Right here, I have tin foil right in front of me, where I'm going to show you how to use these different things. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how to use paint to decorate your mask. I have black paint right here. If I were to use this, it's going to make my robot have like an old rusty look, which I think would look super cool. So you're going to take your paint, a paintbrush, and have a cup of water right next to you. You're going to dip your paintbrush into the paint just a little bit, and then you're going to dip your paintbrush back in the water just like that to water down the paint a little bit. Then when you're ready, you're going to paint along the surface of your tin foil just like that. And then I'm going to lift it up so you can see, creates a super cool design just like that. See, you can see the cracks of the tin foil come up. Nice. All right, and then when you're done with that, you can also use markers to decorate your mask. This is super cool. So you can use it just to paint on the surface just like that to create a shimmery, cool colored effect. Or you can use markers to create shapes and designs, which would otherwise be kind of hard if you were to use paint. So you can do triangles, you can do hearts, you can do smiley faces, you can do stars, anything you want. Yep. So you can see, super cool. All right, and next, which is my favorite part, we're gonna do some glitter. So for this, you're going to put a little bit of glue, you don't need that much. And then you're gonna take your other paintbrush, which is new, not the same one you use for the paint. Dip it in the water again, and then use it to spread the glue all over your mask, wherever you want the glitter to go. And then when you're ready, you're going to take glitter. I have some blue glitter right here that I'm using. And you're going to sprinkle it right where you spread the glue around. Isn't that super cool? I love how it shimmers like that. All right, and next up, parents, this is your step. So when your child is done, finished creating their mask, you're going to create 2 holes on the back of the mask or wherever would be best for it to be attached. Mine are right here and right here. You can either use a hole puncher or I just used a pencil. It's super easy to poke through. You just place it where you want it to go and push it through. And then grab a piece of string or ribbon. I just use string here. Tie it just like a shoelace, double knot it to make sure it stays on pretty well. Then place the mask on your kid. And then you're going to wrap it around and tie it right there so it fits their head perfectly and it won't wobble around or anything like that. All right, guys. And then when all that is done, I want you to look at your mask and I want you to challenge yourself to create a character out of your mask. So the way your mask looks can kind of help you determine this. So is your mask like scary looking? Is it funny looking? Is it happy looking? Like what think about what your mask would, what your robot would sound like, what kind of job they would do, how they would act, and all the stuff like that. And then when you're all ready, you thought about that super, super hard, I want you to put on your mask and I want you to act out your character and show your mom, show your dad, show your grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, everyone, just have fun with it. All right, and that should be everything for today. These are all our finalized masks. If Ryan and Tess could show you. Ta-da! All right, thank you guys so much. And have a nice night.
Those were amazing. I loved how different each one of those were. I bet you're already thinking of some things you could use around your house to make your own robot mask, maybe even things that you'd normally throw away. So next up, we have Christine and Stephanie. They have a really exciting mask project for you to try that explores different kinds of shapes. Christine is a graphic design student who's also studying art education. Stephanie is a graduate student in art education, and I happen to know that she loves to draw birds. They are both very excited to present their mask project to you and hope that you have fun and learn about shapes.
All right, we're live. Hi, guys. So my name is Christine. And I'm Stephanie, and we're so excited to be able to share our mask making project with you guys today. And for our mask, we're going to be learning about how to make a mask using 2 types of shapes. So first, I made some cutout shapes, and here is a square, a triangle, a circle, and a rectangle. Nice. So just like I said, I named these shapes, and shapes that have their own distinct name is called geometric shapes. And I believe we have another type of shape, and Stephanie will be introducing that to us.
All right, well, here I go. First little shape, he's coming onto the screen. He's like a little blobby dude. He's living his best life, you know. And then there is the zigzag friend. He's a little curve on the edge. Maybe they're friends, who knows? And then we have this guy who almost looks like a little bit of a flower. Now notice how when I was describing these shapes, I didn't say distinct names like rectangle or square or circle. I more used adjectives, words that can describe what something looks like. And that is a way to describe organic shapes. Organic shapes are shapes that do not have a distinct name, that can be found both indoors and in nature. Like, for example, this guy looks like he can just sprout out of the ground.
Okay, so with these 2 types of shapes, we will be making a mask. And for the adults, we wrote down in the handouts that you will be preparing the 2 types of holes for your students to use. So one would be the eye holes, and the others would be the hole for the strings to tie around at the end that we will be explaining. So before we get started, I see some shapes on this mask. And what is this shape called? I think it's called a rectangle.
You know, I think you're close, but I think it was called another name. What do you guys think? Do you know what this shape is? If you said triangle, you're right.
Yay. And I think I see another shape. And do you recall what the name of this shape is?
I don't think I do, but you know what? He looks very similar to my blobby friend right here. So that must mean this is if you said organic shape, you're correct. And if you made a mistake while we are identifying shapes, don't worry about that too. We're here to learn. We're here to have fun. So yeah, just don't worry. Just focus on having fun throughout the entire time.
Of course. So for this mask, we use both geometric shapes and organic shapes, but there's an option to use just one type of shape. So as an example, I just used a geometric shape like circles, rectangles, and triangles to make my mask.
It looks so cool. I love how you put a rectangle on top of another rectangle.
Thank you. And I also drew some circles and stars. So that's another option for you to do. And I think Stephanie made another mask.
I did. It's still in progress, but I'm making a mask. Hi. I'm making a mask based on organic shapes. And you know, while I was using one of my markers, and just shout out to our grown-ups out there, on the handout sheet, there's a list of supplies for all the types of things you can use to make your mask with your little ones. Now, I made this mark here, and I'm not as happy with it.
And I talked to Christine about this too.
Yeah.
And we decided, a great idea would be to take this as an opportunity. So I made a different organic shape. He looks like a little bean. And Christine, I was wondering your opinion. I was thinking either placing it in this direction or in this direction. Which way do you think is better?
I think the second option is better. I think I like that.
Me too. Now we're going to show you briefly just how you could attach a paper shape onto your mask.
So by using this glue stick, it could be both liquid or stick. It doesn't really matter. I will put some glue on this
On this
mask
area.
where she made the mistake.
And then I'm going to put my shape and press just with a bit of pressure, not too much, not too little, and it should stay in place. However, if you're finding that your shape keeps sliding, you can even place it on the table for a bit, your mask, so that way it will have the time to dry and stay in place. But I don't think we have to wait.
Yeah. You look so great now.
Thank you.
Okay, so after you guys are done decorating your masks, you guys will get some help from the adults who will be beside you guys.
And we worked on this method together. And I played the role of the grown-up, and Christine was the student. So we went ahead and made a knot here, which will also be in the directions grown up. So fret not. And so what I did, Christine, I made sure I placed the mask in front of Christine's head. And if you turn to the side, you can see that it is tight enough that it stays in place, but not too tight that it's going to give her a headache, because we don't want that. We want to have fun. So now she's free to dance around, go on adventures, all that fun stuff. And that's what masks are about, having fun and just having a creative, nice time. And I remember there's one more thing you wanted to say before we said goodbye.
Yeah, so the thing is, making a mistake isn't really a mistake in art. It's all about creative process. And actually the process, while you guys fix it, just like how Stephanie did with her little mistake with her marker, we actually like it better this way. So maybe opportunities could bring you a better outcome.
Yeah.
Like this.
So take your time and remember that, even if you make something you don't like at first, you're learning. You're learning, okay, I didn't like this, but if I do this instead, I'm happier. And that is what art is all about. All right. And with that, I believe it's time for our classmates to start with their lessons. So we'll say goodbye for now. Bye, guys. Have a nice night.
Thank you so much. Those masks were so fancy, and it really made me think about shapes. They talked about geometric shapes and organic shapes, and I bet you'll hear about those again soon. All right, so next we have Sydney and Jessica, and they're going to teach you about insects and help you make a mask that's inspired by the things you learn. Sydney and Jessica are going to join us, although I think Jessica might be running a little bit late. So I'll just start with Sydney. Sydney's studying to be an artist and a teacher at Boston University. Originally from Western Pennsylvania, Sydney enjoys painting and drawing, but she's starting to also fall in love with sculpture. One of her biggest inspirations are snails, and she even has 2 pet snails. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about Jessica so you know when she gets here. Jessica is a first-year art education graduate student at Boston University. A fun fact about her is she loves to make all kinds of desserts, but she doesn't even eat sweets. I guess her roommates are really lucky.
Hey everybody, I'm so sorry. I'm Sydney. I don't know where Jessica is. She's supposed to be here and I don't.
Oh my gosh! Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. Hey, Sydney. Oh, man. Sydney,
Yeah?
do you know how amazing fall is?
Jessica, where were you? I was so worried. I didn't know where you were. And are these leaves?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I will tell you why I think fall is amazing. Because leaves started their changing colors, taking off their green t-shirt, put on their yellow and orange fancy sweaters. And then also because the weather is getting cold, lots of animals and insects are gonna go to hiding away and prepare for hibernate. That's the reason we didn't see lots of animals now. And so Sydney, what kind of insects have you been seeing?
I've been seeing lots of cool insects, not just now, but like throughout the whole year. Let's take a look at these ones. They are so cool. So, these little guys, aren't they so awesome? They're like little monsters that live on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like so interesting. And there's even a whole science dedicated to studying bugs called entomology.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, wait. Oh, look at those interesting pattern and texture. The pattern is the repeated design, and the texture are the feeling of the surface. So, the yellow and black stripes on bumblebee are a pattern, and the fluffy fur they have are the texture.
And sometimes it might be a little tricky to figure out the differences between a texture and a pattern. Sometimes a texture creates a pattern, and other times a pattern creates a texture. So the two really go hand in hand. Also, there are lots of different parts to a bug. Some of the parts that they have, we also have, like their head, their eyes, their legs, and their abdomens. But some parts are specific to bugs, like the antennas on their heads and the wings on their back. You know what would be super cool? I think we should make bug masks so we can be cute little monsters too.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. For a bug mask, we should focus on the head and antennas. Let's see what material we need. So, we do need paper plate or cardboard. And definitely some scissors. And with coloring tools like paint, markers, crayons, and glue stick or glues. Some paper, you can have white plain paper or some fun color ones. And then some elastic string or strings and masking tapes.
Awesome. So now that we have our materials, let's go ahead and get started. So for the first step, you're going to take your paper plate or your cardboard, and you are going to draw an upside down teardrop shape. And notice how this one end here is smaller. This smaller end is going to be the bottom of your mask. So after you cut it out, that is what it will look like.
So next, you have to draw some eyes on your bugs. You probably will need some help from your grown-ups to help cut it out. And while you grow up are helping you cut them out, you also want to let them know to help you cut 2 holes on both of the sides so you can wear your mask.
This is what it will look like. Cool. So now, while we have the grown-ups with us, let's have them do one more thing. So they're going to take your string or elastic and they're going to measure it so it fits comfortably around your head. Then they're going to put the string through these 2 little holes they made and tie it to the mask. So then that way, when the mask is all done, they can use the strings and tie it to the back of your head so you can wear your mask when you're all done.
Perfect. Now let's cut some string off of papers for our antennas. The paper can be colored already, or you can color them later. We can use a glue stick, glue, or masking tape to attach your antenna to the back of the mask on the top part too. And then, if you like mine, it's curled, you can use a pencil or a markers to curl your antenna so they can be curly too.
Add a little bit of bounce to your mask. It'll be so fun. So now comes another fun part. We are going to be decorating our bug mask. So get out those coloring tools of choice, and you want to think about those patterns and textures that we were just talking about earlier. So for instance, while we're using paint, we're just going to get a big glob on there and we're going to paint our mask. So just get it all on there. And while your paint is still wet, you can flip your paintbrush over and use the other end to create some interesting patterns on that. Let's get a close-up shot of that. Isn't that an awesome texture? So think about that while you're making your mask. But let's say if you're not using paint, or in addition to your paint, you can use some scrap pieces of paper, some other pieces of string, and add some even more fun textures to your mask. So keep thinking about that while you're making your mask. Think of other ways you can create interesting patterns or textures.
I'm so excited to wear my bug mask. If needed, please allow your mask to dry first and then put it on. So after that, you can wear your mask.
Oh my gosh, Jessica, your mask is awesome. I love the patterns you have on there.
Thank you. Oh, Cindy, I love the texture you have on there. Oh, it looks a little bit scary. I don't want to touch it.
You really think so?
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. I tried to make it look like a real bug. That makes me so happy. So, as you are making your mask, think about these textures and these patterns. What makes a texture and a pattern different? What kind of interesting patterns and textures did you make? So, think about that while you're making your mask and also when you're done making your mask.
I bet they will create such interesting pattern and texture. I'm so excited to see our friend's mask look like. Oh, look at the time. I think it's time for me to go look for some more bugs. Do you want to tag along, Cindy?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and making a mask with us.
Have a great night.
Wow, thank you so much. My students and I are all in Boston, where it was a beautiful fall day today. The leaves were wonderful colors, but it was just a week or so ago that we could hear all the insects everywhere singing kind of their final songs before it started to get really cold. Well, our last masks tonight are the invention of Emma and Stephanie, and they're going to show you how to make some fanciful masks with wings. Emma is studying painting and art education. She has recently been not just painting, but creating painting dance performances. Wow, I'm so curious about what that could be. In her free time, she enjoys dancing, watching movies, and making arts and crafts. Stephanie is an artist with a BFA in painting, currently studying to be an art teacher. She is half Venezuelan and Mozambican, and she grew up in the Canary Islands, which are a part of Spain. Her own artwork has bright, colorful, abstracted figures and animals that are set in different places and cultures around the world. Let's see their masks.
Hi guys, so today we're gonna do some paper masks like this one's over here. So first you want to start by gathering some materials. You're gonna need some colored tissue paper. You want to have a variety of them. Some colored paper. You could also have some patterns. This part is optional. And if you don't have any colored paper, you could take a white piece of paper and some crayon, some paint, and just color it. So first you want to start by gathering 3 papers, tissue colored paper. I'm going to place them all together. Once you've done that, I want you how to do the accordion style. So the accordion style, you basically fold in 2 different directions. The first direction, you want to fold it towards you. So you're going to grab both edges and just fold it like that. Then the next part, you're going to fold it the other way. So facing outside like this. And you want to repeat this same movement all over till you finish the paper. Once you're done, you're going to end up with something like this. And in here, you want to grab some tape or glue. And you want to put it at the center of the piece so you can keep it all together. Then once that is done, you want to unfold all the pieces. So something like that, to create some wings. And you want to show all the colors you have in there. Now this part is optional. You don't have to do it, but I think it's pretty cool. So this part, you could cut some part of the paper. different sizes, so you can show all the colors once you wear the mask. And you can also crumple the paper a little bit like this to add some volume to the mask. That way it looks like really big wings. And now my friend Emma, she's gonna do the rest.
Hi guys. So once you have your little crumpled mask, we can think about what kind of eye holes we would like to make. We can make small eye holes, large eye holes, circles, rectangles, whatever shape you want. This mask that I have right here has really small eye holes. You can barely see them. And this mask that I have over here has really large, ripped up eyes, really messy. So now you can have a parent or guardian help you cut out the eye holes for your mask. Depending on the mask, they will most likely have to cut through multiple layers of paper. So you're going to make sure that your eye holes match up through each layer of paper. So once your eye holes are cut out, we can start making some organic shapes. I have some organic shapes right here. Organic shapes are imperfect and they have a lot of flows and curves to them. And they usually mirror things that you see in nature, like leaves or trees or water. So we can begin cutting out our organic shapes on construction paper. I use printer paper because it's easier to find. I cut some out right here. And I decorated my paper with crayon, but you can decorate your paper with crayon, colored pencils, markers, paint, whatever you would like. And then you can take some scissors. And you can cut without really thinking about it. You can just make some really crazy shapes. Just make sure you're being careful. See here, I have a little wonky shape. And then from here, we can begin taping and gluing these shapes to our mask. So I'm going to use this mask here, and you can tape it along the sides like this one. You can tape it above the eye holes like this one, or you can even tape it behind the mask. So from here, a parent or guardian can poke a hole on both sides of your mask. I put mine right here and right here, and you can tie a string to each hole. And then now you can measure it up around your head and make sure that it fits just right. So then once your mask fits just right, you're all done. You can put it on, try it on for everyone, and you can wear it wherever you'd like. Thank you guys for watching.
Wow, those were so magical. And did you hear Emma mention organic shapes again? All right, I'd love to see everybody come back on with their masks to say goodbye. We want to thank you so much for watching and letting us share our mask projects with you.
Primary colors. Only three are primary, is true. The world is full of every kind of color.
Am I the only one that's gonna dance?
Talking red, yellow, and blue.
All right.